How do your company arrive at the decision to pursue vaccine development under microgravity conditions and other opportunities? SpaceHab has long known the value of the microgravity, as our commercial modules and carriers have been the primary payload on 23 space shuttle missions in both the Space Station Mir and International Space Station. We have flown over 1,500 experiments to space, and much knowledge was discovered. However, after reviewing these experiments, I found that we have only begun the discovery process, as while experiments were sent to space, the ISS was under construction and the environment was not ideal for these sometimes very sensitive samples. But today, the International Space Station is nearly complete, and the ISS has been designated as a national laboratory available for commercial endeavors, setting the stage for a new age in microgravity experimentation that shows strong indications of great value both in commercial investment returns and in saving and enhancing our lives here on Earth. To take advantage of these unparalleled space-based resources, SpaceHab has initiated a new division. SpaceHab's Microgravity Processing Division is uniquely qualified to identify commercial microgravity processing opportunities through our history of supporting microgravity research activities and our wide range of partnerships with agencies and industry leaders. This division focuses on commercial R&D initiatives that are aligned with the national lab capabilities, transportation opportunities, and market demand. To assist SpaceHab in identifying these high-value opportunities for commercialization, we formed a team of our nation's leading microgravity researchers. SpaceHab's Science Advisory Council is comprised of experts in microgravity, life sciences, biotechnology, and material sciences, and most of these distinguished individuals have extensive experience with microgravity. The first step in this process is to gain access to the ISS through a Space Act agreement, and the next step is to establish the appropriate public and private partnerships required to execute an ISS National Lab project. As an example, SpaceHab has established a public partnership with the Department of Veterans Affairs, which will allow joint efforts in various biotechnology research and product development in the National Lab, leading to commercial health care solutions. Second question is, are there other applications of microgravity environment that you intend to pursue? And I'll go through those. As the space environment has shown to induce key changes in microbial cells and are directly relevant to infectious disease. The targets identified from each of these microgravities induced alterations represents an opportunity to develop new and improved therapeutics, including vaccines as well as biological and pharmaceutical agents aimed specifically at eradicating the pathogen. Furthermore, these different targeted approaches each represent potential product lines of development within the microgravity environment. SpaceHab has determined that one of the most valuable short-term microgravity opportunities is in the development of advanced vaccines that have the potential to be worth billions of dollars while saving thousands and even perhaps millions of lives. No single medical advance has had a greater historical impact on human health than vaccines. Today, vaccines continue to be developed, providing hope to eradicate many diseases that continue to kill millions every year, as pandemic influenza, AIDS, cancer, and instruments of bioterror. An experiment that flew in the ISS in 2006 concluded that bacteria grown in microgravity are much stronger than those grown on Earth. This is a very important discovery, as it signaled to scientists that microgravity, properly controlled, could be used to design vaccines much quicker and with much greater precision than before possible. As a result of these and other conclusions, SpaceHab is taking these composite findings to the next level and sponsoring microgravity vaccine development model that was sent to space on the Space Shuttle during mission STS-123. The vaccine model is scheduled to return on the STS-124 mission in May to confirm the initial results. Once complete, this new space-based model has the potential to significantly increase our ability to develop vaccines for various types of infectious diseases. Protein crystal growths, we call those PCGs. The cells of the human body are the many factories that enable life. What divide all those factories to perform their specific functions are the proteins that are synthesized within these cells. The body utilizes approximately 400,000 of these proteins, and when certain protein cell functions become abnormal, a wide variety of diseases and conditions may present themselves. Drugs can be developed to alter the effects of these problem proteins, but drug development is very difficult to accomplish on Earth. For some of those more serious diseases, microgravity is thought to hold the only solution for saving millions of lives on Earth. Diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and cystic fibrosis are only just a few of the diseases that microgravity is thought to hold the potential to provide significant advancements in developing a drug treatment. A technique has been developed in Earth to discover drug therapies that involves growing a very pure crystal that is used to obtain an image of the atomic structure of a protein. Once the crystal is obtained, a very high-powered X-ray or X-ray crystallography reads the structure of the protein, and from this a drug can be developed. It was discovered that when crystals were grown in microgravity, the results are oftentimes a larger and better quality crystal that can be more easily and accurately characterized, making it more possible to develop a drug treatment that can treat these diseases. The PCGs have flown more than any other experiment, with an estimated investment of over $400 million by NASA. SpaceHab has identified 1,250 membrane proteins and 425 aqueous proteins that are ready for microgravity crystallization. The company expects to send the first samples to the ISS for processing in the third quarter of 2008. Upon return from space, these crystals will be X-rayed and the data sold to drug development companies. Alternatively, the company may choose to add more value to the discovery by pursuing its own drug development program. Since the inception of the ISS, hundreds of experiments have been conducted, giving rise to additional opportunities to provide Earth-based benefit. As NASA's mission priorities focus on exploration beyond low Earth orbit, the designation of the ISS as a national lab enables non-government entities to partner with NASA to further the benefit of space-based research and development. SpaceHab intends to conduct its national lab activities to move technology forward, provide economic growth, stimulate the minds of our future engineers and scientists, and to ultimately improve the quality of life here on Earth. The third question that I had was, what are the current perspectives in the financial community with respect to underwriting R&D efforts that require the microgravity environment of space? We are currently funding our micro-G efforts with internal cash and financial assistance from the state of Florida and its Space Florida Authority. The fact that the ISS was designated as a national laboratory last year went a long, long way to putting an environment together to attract capital. Ultimately, the investment community needs to see commercial product come back from micro-G and products sold and profits made. We feel confident that we can attract capital from corporate and institutional investors as needed to provide an acceptable return. In closing, I'd like to add the International Space Station is unarguably the greatest achievement man has ever accomplished. The ISS is the pyramids of our generations and the aqueducts of our nation. The taxpayers of this country have spent over $100 billion in its design and construction, and it is a magnificent achievement that has included 19 countries in its effort. I want to take this moment to recognize the engineers, the technicians, and politicians that have accomplished this great feat, and I want to close by reminding you that this is the time to take advantage of what we have built. Mr. Chairman and members of the subcommittee, I want to extend my sincere appreciation for having me here today.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. At this point, let's jump right into our first round of questions. The Chair recognizes himself for 5 minutes. I'd like to direct a question to every member of the panel, and I would give each one of you about a minute or so to respond. In your opinion, what needs to be done to ensure that the ISS will be a productive research facility? And Dr. Stoddek, I might also ask you if you'd speak to when you mentioned modest funding.